Okay, I'm not going to go too much into this, but let's just hold thumbs. I wouldn't say pray. I wouldn't say refu shalema. Let's just hold thumbs. My miniature schnauzer Rufus, the diabetic blind one, well, he's got sight in the one eye. He's at the vet today. We're not so sure about his blood glucose. Are we giving him the right levels of insulin, this and that? So hopefully we'll sort that out. So let's just give Rufus a bit of thought. So I got to go there at 4:15 this afternoon and find out what to do. See, here's the thing. I was against this. I thought Rufus doesn't need to go to the vet. Rufus is as good as he's going to be. Yes, he's got muscle wastage. Yes, he urinates when he shouldn't urinate. Mind you, he hasn't urinated in the house for quite a while, for at least a week. But as far as I'm concerned, this is as good as Rufus is going to be. He's full of energy. He still eats. He still plays. He still runs around. What do you want? What do you want? You want a super dog. You want a miracle. That's as good as it gets. When I took Rufus to the vet this morning, and the vet, we decided to go to a different vet, he looked at the records because, how's this for awkward? So we've changed vets. So the receptionist at the new vet had to phone our dumped vet, the vets that we've dumped, and ask for the medical records for Rufus. And obviously this is the kind of thing that this receptionist does all the time. So she didn't feel awkward at all. And I'm glad I didn't know about it beforehand, because then I would have been nervous. But the discarded vet, the rejected vet, happily gave them all the records. And then the vet went through the records, and he looked at me and he said, Rufus was first diagnosed 2 years ago. So in other words, hey, your dog has survived 2 years. What more do you want? And that was the look. That was the look on his face. He never said it, but I read between the lines. He's thinking to himself, hey, what do you want? Miracles. Your dog's got diabetes. You got to remember, the metabolic system and the aging of dogs is seven times more than humans. So if your dog is diagnosed with diabetes, that diabetes, the symptoms, the damage, the pathology is going to be 7 times greater than on humans. So the fact that Rufus has lasted 2 years and is relatively healthy, come on. What are we pushing? What are we trying to get as much life as we can out of this dog? It's like we like pushing him, like we're one of these competitive parents that want their dogs to go on forever. You know what? When he has to go to the kennel in the sky to meet up with Barbara Woodhouse and Michelle Avasholem. Michelle passed away over a year ago. He'll meet up with Michelle again, thinking, you. We meet again. You know, that kind of scenario. And, look, cycle of life. I mean, my friend Wayne, he's an adult, same age as me. He said to me the other day, when he put down his one dog, this is like 5-6 years ago, he says that he's still traumatized. He says that he still hasn't got over it. On the one hand, that's sweet. On the other hand, harden up, maybe. Anyway. 15 months. Our former president, Zuma, got 15 months. 15 months. Hey, 15 months. Shiniwam, 15 months. So originally I reported yesterday that President Zuma got 2 years in jail because you know what? I'm guilty of trying to get the breaking story. I'm guilty of trying to be the first one to report, and then I get my facts wrong. He got 15 months. Not 2 years. So the maximum sentence would have been 2 years. Maybe they took, I was going to say not time served. Apparently, President Zuma, Jacob Zuma, is 78 or 79 years old. And so people say that 15 months is a death sentence. Yes, if he's going to San Quentin or Attica, he'll go to some lodge disguised as a correctional facility. But Carl Niehaus. Now, Carl Niehaus, I was almost right about Carl. Carl is back from Russia. They've removed him from David Makura because they were as you know, lodged, and they cleaned him up and he put on a nice ANC T-shirt and he did a very nice video that went on social media and it was reported and people complain. They say Carl Niehaus is not relevant anymore. Why is this news? You've missed the point if you say that. He is entertaining. Are you not entertained by this?
Of the Constitutional Court to sentence President Jacob Zuma to a 15-month sentence of imprisonment is a fundamental and absolute outrage.
And then he carries on and on. He carried on for over 2 minutes, and it's quite something. Do you want to listen a little bit more?
To resist and not to accept this outrage.
So he's not going to accept this outrage. Carl Niehaus is not going to accept this outrage. And look, like I said to you, you should be so lucky. You should be so blessed to ever have a friend like Carl Niehaus. I mean, which of your friends would come on a video like this and protest? If you were sent to jail, would your best friend do a video like this? I mean, it's lovely.
Justice, to democracy, to the writing of this democratic constitution of ours.
So he says it's against. He says that it's against it's totally unacceptable. It's an utter outrage, and he goes on and on and on. But friendship aside, I mean, you gotta try. I'm trying to understand the thinking process of somebody like Carl Niehaus. Yes, he's loyal, and former President Jacob Zuma is more than a friend. He's like a father figure to Carl Niehaus. But does Carl not follow the news and follow all the stories and the prima facie evidence of Jacob Zuma's complicity in state capture, how it has almost destroyed the economy of South Africa, destroyed people's lives. South Africa should be a flourishing country, but we are struggling. Our healthcare system is almost on collapse. Is almost collapsed. Our education is really in a very poor state. We can't even get vaccines. We don't have vaccines. People are dying unnecessarily from COVID-19. The rest of the world is getting vaccines, but we're sitting here on our asses. We can't get vaccines. And why is that? Corruption, mismanagement. The country has been almost destroyed by Jacob Zuma and his cohorts and his co-conspirators, not co-conspirators, but his cohorts. So what is Carl Niehaus busy thinking? Is it just a level of complete, just a complete blindside, just not aware of the facts, not aware of reality? Is it just complete blind loyalty? Just blind loyalty. Just maybe it's unwise to try and understand. There's just some things in life that we'll never understand. You meet people, you just don't understand what they're made of, and you just don't understand where Carl Niehaus is coming from. It's just can't explain it. Can't explain it. On the positive note, when Jacob Zuma goes to jail, all his colleagues in jail, all his jail buddies, they would have all been vaccinated against COVID-19. So the Department of Corrections is going to have all the prisoners vaccinated because they're seen as a vulnerable group of people because everyone's living on top of each other. I don't know. I think if you commit a crime, possibly part of your punishment, part of your challenges is to survive COVID-19. That's what I think. Yes, if we lived in an ideal country or ideal society where everybody was getting the vaccine, I wouldn't say this. But law-abiding citizens can't get the vaccine at the moment. So now we're going to vaccinate all these criminals? Doesn't really, we're taking human rights too far, I think, perhaps. What do you think? Sure. Serious lockdown. We had to make an announcement, Bernice and I. We had to send a message to all our friends, both of them, not to come visit us. With peace and love, from the 29th of June, 2021, with peace and love, we cannot receive visitors. So both of you cannot visit us because we're taking this Delta variant very seriously. We said, I'm sorry, we're going to miss you, but I hope you understand, no more visitors. You cannot come. I don't know what we're going to do. Suddenly we're going to have extra food in our fridge. We actually better watch our shopping budget. We probably should maybe not buy as much as we normally do, hey, Bernice? Yeah, we need to just change the budget. But you know what? We said in our letter, in our official letter, for the next 2 weeks. But I'm looking at this third wave. And if you look at the gradients, it's not so much of a wave. At the moment, it's a very, very steep incline. It only becomes a wave once it gets to the apex and does a little round turn, like what's it called? A U-turn. When it makes a U-turn at the top and then goes down, then only then is it a wave. And I'm sure most scientists would agree with me. It's only a wave once it starts coming down, and then you look at the graph and it looks like a wave. That's where it comes from. Absolutely. So at the moment, a very steep incline. And it's looking very, very daunting. Very, very scary. It's very clever that they're calling it now. It's now called the Delta variant. And I discussed this the other day. And I think changing it to the Delta variant has really helped. I've noticed there's more of a positivity and favorability towards India. And people don't hate India or don't look down on India as much as they did before when it was called the Indian variant. We're now more positive about India because now it's called the Delta variant. And some people were saying, why are they using all this Greek nomenclature? Because there's alpha, beta, Sierra. No, what's the C? Sigma. No, Sigma's the S. Anyway, you get the idea. Delta. And then the next one will be etc. Echo. DEF. Okay, you get the idea. Anyway, people were making rude Greek jokes about anal things, which I thought was very, very, very poor taste. Especially after what Carl Niehaus has gone through in Russia, where they had to remove him. Oh, gamma. Gamma is the G. And then what's the F? We don't know. Anyway, so serious lockdown. We're not having any visitors. I just took a parcel now from the courier, and he left it at the gate. Didn't come near me. He knows. This is like, for example, courier people. They should have the vaccine. They're frontline workers. Everyone working in shops should have the vaccine. Can I tell you a little thing? Get this. Bernice and I have a friend. I mean, this is ridiculous. So she works for a company that does old age homes. So she schmockles herself a vaccine, which is, I probably would have done the same thing. I'm not knocking her. Look, it's dishonest. It's not nice. It's probably not nice, but I think most people in her position would have done the same thing. But what makes it worse, what I don't understand is that she just can't admit to us, yes, I did the vaccine under the table. Yeah. She makes up stories. You know what she told us? Now get this. She does the admin. She's like a bookkeeper. She does the admin. She's like the personal assistant to the guy who runs all these old age homes. You know what she says? I work with the elderly. She actually said that. I work with the elderly. I mean, you cannot. What an insult! Or does she think that we are like more than stupid? Or does she think we got brain damage?
That's how we went from 3 to 2.
That's how we used to have 3 friends. Now we got 2 friends. So she's been blocked. How dare she say that she works with the elderly? She doesn't leave her house. She works from home. She doesn't see any elderly people. She's got 1 elderly friend. That doesn't count. Don't lie. When your friends lie, it's like, it's like so insulting. Just admit that you schmockled a vaccine. Because she got the Pfizer. So she's got to get a second vaccine now. So we couldn't understand how you're going to get the second vaccine if you schmockled the first one. Oh, I work with the elderly. So she's schmockling the second one. It's all a schmockle. Who are we trying to kid? Makes me mad. But anyway. Things that have made me slightly happy. I'm glad that England beat Germany in the European, the UEFA Cup last night. 2-0, that's quite an emphatic victory. And it's taken since 1966 for England to beat Germany. Since 1966. So everyone is celebrating, everybody's happy. So England this morning, very, very happy. The Proteas, amazing. They actually beat the West Indies. I mean, if you saw the first T20 match, the way the West Indies thrashed us, you would never have thought. We won the second T20 and now we won the third. We won by 1 run. So congratulations to the Proteas. That's really a tremendous achievement. That really gets, I'm just so happy. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. But on a sad note, Serena Williams, I was watching her first, her match yesterday. I just watched the first game or the second game. She didn't look, she looked a bit flat-footed. She didn't look like she was moving very well. Anyway, she had to retire hurt. She's pulled out of Wimbledon, twisted ankle. I saw her in tears. We've seen over the years, Serena Williams in tears quite often. She does. Look, I mean, it's a good reason to be in tears. But it's amazing. It's amazing. With everything that she's achieved in tennis, it's incredible that she still wants to achieve more. I mean, it's truly, truly remarkable. Serena, I hope you can still come back. Perhaps, what is it, the US, you can come back into the US Open, please, Serena. I think that's in September. I think your ankle will be better. And it's holding thumbs. Holding thumbs. And then there was I don't know how her sister Venus Williams did. I'm not sure about her. Anyway, let me just finish on this. I know I can't carry on more about this. Just be careful, please. I don't want to sound like I'm patronizing and giving you a lecture, but just be careful of disinformation. There's still news stories coming out about the coronavirus, information that could be not entirely true, misleading, and you just got to be careful about it. I just saw a story now this morning that is not necessarily a misleading story, but it's a story that, we didn't need to know this. It's just going to create confusion. Research has shown according to this particular story, research has shown that the coronavirus can get into insulin-producing cells in the body. Now, what are your insulin-producing cells? Well, it's mainly your pancreatic cells. Your pancreas produces insulin. Insulin then converts glucagon, which is sugar, into glycogen, which is the stored version of glucose. And if you don't have enough insulin in your body, or if the insulin can't get into your body cells to convert the glucose into glycogen, you have too much sugar in your body, and that causes physiological problems, which is diabetes. So they're going into the whole thing, how it's stopping your body, that perhaps there's a theory that the coronavirus is stopping your body from producing insulin. And there was another story that children who have been infected with COVID are developing diabetes type 2. Yeah, it's a nice to know. It's a really interesting to know. But it's not really helpful at this stage of the game. We're still in the early phases of getting to know this disease. Let's just focus on how to prevent the disease. We don't need to get all fancy schmancy and overanalyze what this virus does. It kills you. Just social distance, wash your hands, get the vaccine, and calm down. I didn't calm. Yesterday I exploded. I'll try not to do that again.